Hi, and welcome back in the wonderful world of Raidborn, which, you know it, is a first-person sandbox action RPG with a physics-based combat system, uniquely random-generated levels, housing, pets, and much more. The first thing I have to show you in this devlog video is the implementation of the boss enemies. This is not something which will be in the alpha, but still very important to build the foundation for the system. I will later fine-tune it, add some more functionality to it, make the different bosses unique, give them different unique behaviors and stuff like that, so that you need different tactics to eliminate the boss enemies. The first thing to do was to set up the boss in the engine, to give it physics parts, to be able to ragdoll in the game, and that was what you see me doing here. Next, I set it up the most important, the most basic, and the simplest state for the boss, which is the idle state. Here you see the boss standing around. By the way, this is the boss for the skeletons, and there is one boss for each race. I will maybe add more different bosses, but for the moment I will just have one. So next, I wanted to implement the attacking state, which is of course also a very important state that the boss is able to attack. However, it didn't work when I first tried to implement it, which is very common in game development. Whenever you do something, it does just not work the first time, and when it does, you feel like the king of the world, okay? But this time it didn't work. As you can see, it's just standing still and trying to attack the air, I don't know. It was weird stuff, but of course I was able to fix it, and in the end it worked, and that is how it looks. Of course, it's a little bit weird, maybe I have to fix some stuff, the boss needs to be a little bit slower, and there's really a lot of detail missing, like sound effects, and a lot of stuff is just missing. So this is just a very basic foundation of the boss enemies that are in the game. This was just the way I create things first at the base, and then you layer more detail, more features on top of each other, and ultimately you get the final result. The next thing to do was to make it able to kill the boss, or set the dying behavior of the boss. And as mentioned already, if you do something the first time in game development, it does not work, which you can see here. When the boss was dying, he was just freezing and not ragdolling as he is supposed to do. Again, I could fix that issue, and I don't remember what was the issue, but some weird stuff going on, most likely it was a stupid mistake I made earlier in my code, which also happens quite a lot of times. And the cool thing here is that I made it so, other than other NPCs or other characters in the game, which get like blown away if you kill them, like they ragdoll extremely, the boss enemy is like slowly falling to the ground, and I think that's very cool. And especially if I add a heavy impact sound, then I think that can feel very cool, that you kill that titan and he's just and then he's falling to the ground and makes BAM, and I think that's pretty cool. To finish up the boss, at least for now, I also added functionality that he's able, or that the bosses are able, to patrol around. I think there's only one boss who will patrol around, but I had to set it up. By the way, the skeleton boss is not one of those, but I just used a model because I just used it before. And yeah, here you see the boss patrolling around. The walking is maybe a little bit weird. I will most likely fix this a little bit and make it a little bit more heavy, because they're like walking around too easily, like the animation is not perfect yet, but I can work on that later on. Okay, last but not least, here's the final result in-game, a full fight against the boss enemy. Of course, there is some problems, there are some issues, not looking fluent, but really it's just the very fundamentals. And it's cool that it's already working, and you can get a very first impression how this may look in the final game. So another cool thing I brought with me today, which is the last thing I'm going to show you, is a footage of kind of a mass fight. So I just spawned a few skeletons and fought against them just for fun. I want to share with you because it looks pretty cool and also showcases all the new combat features pretty well. And it was quite a lot of fun to fight those skeletons. Enjoy watching and see you at the end of the video. Okay, that once again was it for the video, and I'm really curious to hear what you think about it. What are your thoughts? What ideas do you have? What suggestions do you have? What do you think about the boss enemy? Do you like the design? Do you like the animations? What am I missing? What do you like to see more? And really there's a lot of stuff I would like to hear from you, so just tell me. I'm really dedicated about the game. I would like to hear everything and to implement as much stuff as I can which you suggest. And last but not least, if you liked that video, if you like Phodex Games, if you want to see more from me, and if you just want to support me in being able to make a living out of it, because that is what I would like to do. I really would like to make a living out of it and create larger games, better games, and to really be somebody who creates crazy good games. And if you want to help me with that, just share the video on the platforms you're using, share it with your game communities, share it with your friends, with your girlfriend, with your dad, with your mother, I don't know. Everybody's playing. Share with them if you want to. That really would help me out, and that would be very thankful if you would do that. Would be just amazing. It's so much fun to create these games, and it's a great fun to also listen to your feedback, create stuff from that, and that synergy is just amazing. And ultimately, stay cool, have a wonderful day, and see you next time.